Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing fine, my friends. Here we are again with not the good, but the best analysis, the best insights for markets, forex, stocks, and everything else. I'm glad to have here my great friend Jose. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, Leo. It's good to be back. Another day, another week, and we have a lot of great stuff. Everyone from Forex, I'm looking today for the New Zealand dollar. I'm looking also to start positioning on the Australian dollar. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, but today what we're going to do is that we're going to share exactly what we're doing with clients, how clients are following our advice. It doesn't mean that they're going to make money right away. It does mean that they understand the risk and they understand how they're positioning themselves. So if anyone is watching the show today, they actually might get a better entry. Less risk, more profits. Tomorrow morning, we have around 7 a.m. New York time. We have Alibaba is going to, go into earnings. So it's going to be a great day tomorrow. So we want to look at what's happening with Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. And besides that, I just want to look into what else is happening. What's the whole thing? What's new? And do you hear that actually now the Apple Watch can check your glucose? That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. Obrigado, Apple. Obrigado, Apple. That's just crazy, man. Actually, I was consulting with a doctor, and she said, she's a client, and she said that the glucose meter or whatever the tool you use is like $150. Okay. And every time that you check yourself, it's like $35. Now, the cheapest Google Watch, I'm not talking about the Hermes, because I just found out that Apple has a Hermes version of the Apple Watch, which is like $1,300. But the cheapest version is like on payments, you get the watch and you're paying like $15 per month. Now do the math. You don't have to pay full price up front. You can do payments. And sadly, you actually, you're sick, you're going through a condition and you need to check your glucose. All right. And you pay per month to get all the data. If that's the case, tops $20.
And
you don't need to put.
Sorry to interrupt you. What if I told you that the Chinese on the AliExpress, you can already buy this copy of the Apple Watch for $15 with the glucose meter?
I'm a buyer, man. Actually, you know what
I
I'm
bought
looking?
You.
I just broke my keyboard, man. What the hell?
Hey, bro, let me invite some guys on Instagram to check our show.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Oh, I just destroyed my keyboard. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. What's going on? Where's my keyboard now? Oh, Lord, have some mercy.
What happened, bro?
Yeah, no, I think I just destroyed my keyboard, man. I just have this fancy keyboard. I don't know, man. Just look at this. You see?
Yes.
The little corner. Okay, but I just found it. This is a very expensive keyboard, man. I mean, I'm not picky with money, but I just bought it. It's like probably less than, I don't know. Oh, Jesus. So if I get disconnected, oh, Jesus. I actually like this keyword, man. Okay, it's back. Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah, so that's a story, man. The reality is things have changed so fast. And you know what is actually crazy about this whole narrative of the story? I think it was Bloomberg.com was the first actually media outlet to actually kind of publish the whole thing, is that these Apple Watch functionality of checking glucose, it comes from the Steve Jobs era, man. This thing has been in development for years. This is not a new thing. Like AI, like a lot of people think like OpenAI just pop and ChatGPT just started giving, answering questions. OpenAI has been around for a while. A lot of the success that we see in 2023 with some products is because they've been in the pipeline for years, like literally for years. Seeing like a lot of people discussing this FSD, full self-driving with sort of like guidance from Tesla. But the FSD used to be like a $3,000, $5,000 upgrade on Tesla cars, right? And today you're paying like $15,000. And yes, it's full self-driving beta, whatever. But the reality is that's been around for a while. So a lot of people complain or think that success is overnight. Success takes time.
Yes.
It takes time, man. And I'm just wondering for how long Apple has been going over this data with the whole glucose. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy what they're doing. I mean, besides everything is very impressive, but it's amazing. What you got, man?
Oh, I'm looking on the charts that we had we talked on the last show, and as I told you, since today we have no cold data because CFTC has had some kind of incident, cybersecurity incident, and as this thing is public, it's from government, so everything else, even in the US, takes longer to correct. So the last cold data release is from January 24. So these last days I'm being a little bit lost, but I have done some trades, but just small trades. For example, yesterday I bought GBP and ZD, but nothing else, because without cold data for me it's not easy. But one thing that I want to show, do you remember our 2 weeks ago we talked about USD Mexico?
Yeah.
And in the video, my exactly words were cold data is saying the short trend will resume, go short again. And in fact, after that day, USD Mexico went down almost 7,000 pips.
It's huge, man. That's
Yes,
huge.
yes. I know things in USD Mexico is different because of the pip size, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you short just one micro lot, you have done $40 in profits.
Yeah. And not only that, it's like, I think like we get into an inflection point, right? A point where a lot of the currencies, a lot of people are like, well, yeah, I think the US dollar is going to make a comeback, right? But the reality is that no, I mean, some other currencies, especially emerging markets, if we can call emerging markets Mexico, but I got to tell you, I don't know if you have heard, but a lot of Americans actually moved to Mexico. A lot of digital nomads, they moved to Mexico. And for example, Professor Scott Galloway from NYU Stern, he teaches marketing. He sees Mexico as one of those places that is doing really well. What that means is that bunch of Americans moved down to Mexico. They're making a lot of money, and they're actually converting those dollars into Mexican peso. So this is one of the reasons you can tell that this narrative would actually Americans going to Mexico is real, because the Mexican peso is getting stronger. That means that people are converting their dollars, their greenback into Mexican peso. Now, also Tesla, as another development, is actually looking to settle in Mexico, one factory. I don't have all the details as what exactly they're going to build down there. I'm not sure if it's going to be the compact Tesla, which people think is going to be $25,000. I don't know if it's going to be batteries, but I can tell you what that means is that bunch of dollars, millions of dollars, are going to be converted to Mexican peso. That's what I think. So if anyone is looking for, and this we discussed this, is like the reality is like when you look at, can you have the monthly chart, Leo?
Yes.
If you think this is just the beginning, you're far from it. This is not even close to be the beginning from more appreciation of the Mexican peso, because the reality is that, and I'm going to be very blunt. Look at this, Leo, right there. Look at that. Left shoulder, head. At some point, even if it happens, this will be the right shoulder. And we talk about this right here. Remember this level?
Yes, and you talked about this, but on weekly, but it's happening on monthly too.
Yeah, and monthlies were, okay, a lot of people think it's going to be like overnight. No, you have to understand Tesla opening a factory means lots of dollars are going to be converting into Mexican peso. The more Mexican peso demand, you don't really have to have a, when it comes to currencies, it doesn't have to be a higher price for it. The more demand, the more banks are going to compete with the exchange rate, the lower it will move, because you're moving from a level of uncertainty where people are scared, where people don't want to have a high yield currency like the Mexican peso, and they buy dollars. The opposite is happening. Stability, more jobs, more people are going to work. Mexico is more attractive. Doesn't matter the bad things that we all know that are happening in Mexico. But if everyone is working, why do you want something bad to happen?
Yes.
So this is where you see, I'm looking at this big structure. This is the big technical structure. I'm calling for worst case by 2025, the Mexican peso is coming all the way back to be 10. And I know this can be shocking for a lot of listeners, a lot of the audience. And if you're in Mexico, Viva Mexico, cabrones. My point is, there are good times coming to Mexico. They're already happening, and there are more good times to come. This is only one trajectory. Less dollars, more Mexican peso exposure. And as you have this breakdown, which we already have from the technical perspective, Leo, on the monthly chart, more and more institutions are going to bet going long Mexican peso. Small positions, lots to do. Right now, we're trading around 13. I'm calling for a 2-year target of the Mexican economy. We're looking for 10. Is this a real thing? Gosh, if you look back in time, we're looking at levels of the great financial crisis, 2008, 2009. And why this is going to happen is because the uncertainty is going to be drained, it's going to be out of the Mexican economy.
And if you think about parity power, that's exactly what you were saying, and with that we have an inflow of money to Mexico, and making and also creating some kind of a stable haven for the country, in fact of tax, because a factory like this puts a lot of money, because it's not just the factory, but it's everyone who works around, who supply to the factory, who consume from the factory, and that's a big deal. And Brazil lost a big opportunity with Tesla. The Tesla wants to settle here, and they even had the place, the land to settle. But on the last time, Brazilians did the Brazilian stuff, and they try to collect a bribe from them, and they refused it and went away. And that's it. That's the story of Brazil again. Are you there,
Yeah,
Jose?
yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Just I don't want to be off camera. I'm having a little bit of red wine.
Okay. No problem. You can drink it.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
good.
want YouTube to censor the show, man. My point is, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but we can agree to disagree or agree, everyone that is watching the show, that across the board, all over America, the Brazilian way is the Latin American way and the
Yes.
Caribbean way. Is that a bad thing? I mean,
Man,
is
it's bad for the country itself because
it's bad for the country where you're dealing with when you're dealing with private company that they don't have to do that. Tesla doesn't have to bribe anyone, and this is where it becomes a challenge, because you're dealing with a new animal, right? I'm not saying Tesla is the best company. It is the best company. It is the best company in the world. I'm just saying that the fact is it is. It's just a company that is playing a different ball game in the automotive industry, because for many years, a lot of people thought that in the automotive industry, Leo, you don't have the same technicality that you have in payments, like winner takes all, which is the concept, the main concept of VC, venture capitalists in the US, for example, from Sequoia, that they invest in Nubank in Sao Paulo, ¿verdad? And then you think, okay, Nubank is going to disrupt the bank in Latin America. They will. And the reality is, you're thinking, okay, in automotive, you cannot have one company that is going to be the Apple of auto. You don't think there's going to be a Netflix of cars. You don't think it's going to be a Microsoft of cars. But the reality is that Tesla slowly is building up a case where you have to wonder, are we in the presence of the first automotive company that is going to take the whole market by storm? That's where it's going. And then does that company have to pay you a bribe? And it doesn't mean that it's Brazil. I'm not trying to look good with my Brazilian friends. Ladies, I'm single. I'm not trying to look good. What I'm the message I'm trying to say is that this is a different animal. This is a new breed of animal in the automotive industry. You're not talking to Honda. You're not talking to Toyota. You're talking to Tesla. So it was necessary to kind of request a bribe, or was not enough to think that, okay, Tesla can bring opportunities for thousands of families in Brazil? What was more important, the bribe or the future of Brazil?
Yes, but that's not how they think. But anyway, I think we have the same story with Apple in the past. The same thing. But that's, I think we are used to it in the way that it's almost cultural. So there's one thing in Brazil that people say: if you have the chance to take advantage on something and you don't, you are such a asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, you are a loser. Yes, you are a loser. You had the opportunity. You are a loser. So that's something that I think will take a lot of time to change. And
Right.
a lot of people complain, but let's see.
All right. So, I mean, I think they're better future. I mean, I'm very bullish Brazil. I'm very bullish a lot of things that are happening. I'm a fan of EWZ. I remember when we're coming back out of COVID, we talked so many times about being long Brazil. It worked very well for us, being long the ETF, EWZ. I think there's a massive opportunity right now with the Mexican peso currency. I think there are more things to come. I think Mexico's going to land that deal. One of the reasons what I think is going to happen for Tesla and Mexico, and again, it's very good for all our brothers and sisters in Mexico, is because of proximity. One thing that you have to consider when you look at the levels and everything that is happening in Mexico is that, yeah, I do think Brazil was a perfect spot. I think actually when you look at Mazda is still Mazda in Brazil. Mazda, I think it's a Japanese company, the car company.
No, no,
They
no.
left. Maybe
Oh,
maybe I'm outdated with my info,
no,
but
I think Mazda they never came to Brazil.
really, oh my God, I've been
Yes.
so wrong about it. I guess I used to have a Mazda, and I thought that there was some kind of manufacturing taking place in Brazil because of
No,
proximity to America and
with
everything.
no Mazda here.
Yeah. So the idea is that also when it comes to proximity for a brand is important, right? So I think like Mexico in that sense of proximity is the perfect spot. Perfect spot.
Oh, okay, okay. Say it
It could
again.
be proximity. The fact, it's an American company, but
Okay.
they are going to produce something in Mexico. Makes sense.
Yes.
Brazil is a little bit far, man. Brazil is, I mean, it's still America, but it's South America. It's far, man. It's far. So I think that was a little bit, that's part of the challenge.
Okay, there's someone asking here in the chat. I understand your admiration for Tesla. Do you think the e-car market is different for Tesla now that there is more competition? What do you think?
I mean, look, I'm not gonna say that I'm not a fanboy. I'm not gonna say that I don't have shares. It's very important for the public to know that I'm extremely loaded in shares of Tesla. Okay. But when I get the narrative of competition, which company, what product, what description? So I'm not just calling like more competition, because this is a narrative that you constantly get on every YouTube channel that discusses bear cases for Tesla and bullish cases for Tesla. But more than that, what I like to discuss, if anyone is asking when it comes to competition, is like, what competition? And I'm not looking to kind of compare Ford, GM, Volkswagen, BMW, Japan, NIO versus Tesla. Product versus product. What is the competition that we're looking at? Because
And sorry, but there's one extra thing that we need to consider, because Tesla is benchmark on this market. So everyone wants to be better than Tesla. Okay, so every time you see someone releasing a car, okay, an example like ChatGPT right now. So
right,
everyone is releasing something that is better than ChatGPT. So the
yeah,
thing is,
that's true.
so even I think with the more competition, okay, oh, I have a e-car from BMW, nice, but it's not a Tesla. Okay, but it's better, but it's not a Tesla. Okay, because this. Do you know I am a fan of BMW, and but these
I'm
companies,
a fan, but when it
yes,
comes to
yes,
EV, it's BMW, a competitive player in the EV industry as a
not
BM.
not yet,
Exactly.
not yet.
But can he catch up with Tesla? I'm a big fan. Remember the M3,
Yes,
BMW M3? Great car. But when people talk about, and I want the show to kind of fall into these Tesla versus competitors. What we're looking to understand is BMW a great company? Yes, it is. It's a great product. Fairly good product. It was better 20 years ago. It was better. I think BMW had to cut some corners to be competitive. It's not a secret. That's not a secret. But is BMW a fair challenger against Tesla? No, it's not. Not is not. Can it become one? Potentially. But what product do we have in 2022, 2023 that we can sell? We can sell to masses the vision of BMW when it comes to the EV adoption. Very little, very little. So I'm not trying to be a fanboy. I'm not trying to be a Tesla investor. I'm trying to be very dry and cut to the facts. Would I buy a BMW EV? Yes, I will. Is it going to be a great? I don't know. I don't know. So this is where people talk to me about competition. Do we have a competition for Leo and Jose on Wednesday? I don't think so. It's going to be some competition. Are they going to be good? No. I don't think so. But yeah, they will try. So you see, it's not just actually popping up and talking about investments or potential investments. There's a lot into actually, after a long day of work, you've been working, Leo. I mean, by now it's already plus, I will say 10 hours, more than 10 hours in Croatia. And still we go out live. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Yes.
So are we going to have competition? I don't think so. I don't see that. I wish it's better for the audience, but we'll see. So again, guys, go ahead, Leo. Go ahead.
No. Just to, I think, to end this Tesla stuff. I think Tesla is not just electric cars. Okay, Tesla is something else. It's like, because they have all this automation stuff. And Tesla is like, I think, my perspective, it's like Apple. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So people will buy Tesla because it's Tesla, and that's it. Tesla in Brazil, it's extremely expensive. So you have you need to have 1 million reais to buy a Tesla here. Yes, it's because there's no official dealer, so
right.
You need to import by yourself. And when you import by yourself, let's say that you pay $100,000 in the car.
Right.
So $100,000 is 500,000 reais. Okay, and after this, you will pay almost 500,000 reais in tax to import it.
Right.
So it's not a common car here. You see, but it's here. And Jose, you told me about do you have some trades? I think in ZD you were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of great stuff that I want to share with the public today. Just gonna let me share my screen.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready here. Let me see what we have today. There you go. Right, all right. So look, and let me share my screen. And I'm going to start with when it comes to shares. I'm going to first jump with what I see is going to happen tomorrow. Earnings coming directly from China. Around 7 a.m. New York time, we're going to have Alibaba. So the chart I have in front of everyone right now from Brazil, Argentina, everyone that is watching the show on Instagram, through the Leo account, our YouTube channel, we have Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. And what you see right now is what we call the dark pool. The dark pool is what's happening behind the screens, behind the curtains, and the money that is rotating. And I want you to pay attention to this because, Leo, look at this. $194 million, $154 million, $142 million, 61. Look at this down there, 61. Then you have 144, $48 million, $13 million, and $37 million. So there's a lot of action taking place on Alibaba. The other thing that I want you to pay attention, whatever happens today, is that the price of the stock went all the way down to cover the big gap right there, all the way from, this gap is from $96.97 all the way to $94.44. So that's fill the gap. So what does that mean for the audience? It means that we cover that, and whatever happens tomorrow around 7 a.m. New York time will define direction for the rest of the year. So I'm not so concerned about what is going to happen when it comes to earnings. I'm concerned about the guidance, and I'm thinking what else Alibaba has to offer. My take is that I'm actually long, so everyone knows I'm a buyer. I like Alibaba. I think it's a great exposure for China, even though they're communist. I think we have to appreciate what they do in China. We have to appreciate the fact that they are like 1,000, I mean, let's just call it in English, 1.4 billion people. Leo, the density of the population in China is huge, huge, my friend. And we cannot trade. We can, we cannot invest without have China exposure. So I think Alibaba is my play, my prime trade. I had some clients that actually they bought it at 65. I think we still have to buy, even though if earnings are bad, we want to start accumulating BABA. So that's the trade. These are the levels. My target short term, I'm looking for the upside. I'm looking for BABA to come all the way. Even if we drop to 80, I'm looking to be a buyer at 80, targeting 116 and all the way to the upper band of the risk, looking to 120. And surprise, surprise, we have huge gap to the upside, all the way from 148 to 160. I'm long BABA. I think you definitely want to do the due diligence. You want to pay attention to the stock. If you are smart, you want to have exposure to Asia, Southeast Asia, and this is the stock that you want to have. What do you think, Leo?
My friend, I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's do it. I
Yeah,
think
this is the stock.
I think we talked about Baba on the last show too.
Yeah, I've been repeating this a little bit, but
Yes,
I think today I'm very bold in showing the levels, accumulation of the dark pool. I think I'm very completely descriptive about where is where, what we're looking, and I'm calling like, even though if we dip to $80, you still want to be a buyer. Again, do the due diligence that you need to do as an investor. Don't trust what we say, but these are the levels, and there's been a massive rotation of capital into the stock. We know what we're talking about. We have the data, we have the tools, we understand China, the population density, demographics. I mean, how many people is in Brazil? 120 million, 100,
yes,
120 million, 150 million. Mexico is 130 million.
sure. Here it's 200 million.
200? My bad. But then China is 1.4 billion. Surprise.
Surprise,
Surprise, but so you see, my point is like Brazil has a strong density. Brazil is a great population, great people, great food, great music, beautiful women. But then we need to make some money. So we look at China, and we're looking at 1.4 billion people. That's huge, man. We cannot avoid that.
That's a lot. Yes.
It's a lot of people. So we want to have some exposure to Asia. We want to make sure that we make some money out of their growth. So China is the play. I think Alibaba tomorrow, it will be poor earnings, great guidance. Want to be a buyer all the way. I will be a buyer, and I will be selling. Worst case, I'm selling at the gap close, 160 per share. 160 per share, Leo.
And that's one thing that I think I was talking about this today with two friends. How about having the right information is important, because most of the time people will look to let's say a not great result and will say, oh, this is shit, but there's more about the result, like the guidance. That is the stuff. Because sometimes, let's say there's a I don't know, I think this term is in English, capex.
Capex,
So yes,
capital expenditure.
yes. So you can see a not good results, but if you don't see of what that result is, it's composed, maybe you are missing the thing. Because let's say the company had a bad result, but had
right
high capex and a lot of investment, and so we say, oh, we have a small result right now, but it's not because we didn't sell, it's because we invested, we spent the money, and so the result was amazing, and we invested, and in 2 or 3 years this will be even better. And people who have the patience and the knowledge to see this,
right
is people that buy the bottom and wait to when things like people who bought Tesla when it was $100.
right exactly. But that, I mean, it all comes down to how you're going to be rewarded. But I know that some ideas they got to be short term, so I got something for you in the currency space. Let's talk about forex. Let's talk about currencies now. I understand a lot of people, they're concerned, they're looking to be dollar buyers. I'm here to tell you, this is just a blip. You want to be short dollar, long risk. Everything looks so far, discussions, surprise visit from Biden into the Ukraine, China is visiting Russia, blah, 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 blah. Do not let them blind you. The dollar has its days count. So I'm looking at the New Zealand dollar, and we all talk about currencies because, listen, people have to eat. New Zealand, Leo, is a very important place for milk. Milk, my friend.
Yes, I know this.
Milk. I like milk. I like milk with my cereal, Captain Crunch, Tiger Tawny, my friend. And you need milk for that. So right now it looks very bearish, but I want to do a little bit of not technical analysis, but point you in the direction of what's going to happen in 2023 to 2024. So basically, what happened is that these levels here are just part of the liquidity all the way coming from May 22. So I'm going to take that and kind of a little bit of a shadow so people understand what's going to happen and how, if I were you, again, if I were you, I will be positioned against the dollar, because America doesn't want a strong dollar. It's not good for your trade deficit. This is big boys language. Trade deficit. You want a currency that is not too strong, not too weak, right there in the sweet spot. And for many, many years, every time there is a challenge in the world, there's some risk, people want to have dollars. Not anymore. So you look at this level right there, Leo, is from May 22. So this is a very strong level. What do you think is going to happen if the dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Kiwi, comes to this level? It's going to be madness. Risk on, my friend. People are going to take risk, okay? So what do I want to do today? Today, what I want to do is make sure that everyone knows that today in the show live, we want to be Kiwi dollar buyers. We want to buy the Kiwi. And you think, okay, Putin is going to drop a bomb, a nuclear bomb. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That man loves Gucci. Vladimir Putin loves Gucci, Louis Vuitton. He loves women. Or even if he loves men, if you drop a nuclear bomb, how are you going to enjoy a man or a woman? You cannot enjoy them because you kill them all. So be safe. He will never do that. We won't have a nuclear war because those guys, they love money more than they love life. So it's not going to happen. Not happening, bro. So I want to buy risk because the war in the Ukraine will not go over 2023. It's over. So look at this. I'm going to pull my Fibonacci and I will say this. Look at how the retracement comes from a push higher for risk. So when you have a pullback, you're thinking, okay, it can come to 38.2%, probably 61.8. So either we stop today or next week around 38, or we drop to 61. At 61, you have 330 pips. So I'm calling for 400 pips. My bottom line, I want to be a buyer here, and I'm calling for tremendous upside. And what I'm saying is this: worst case, we're coming here, maybe 400 points to the downside. But after that, Leo, a lot of great things are going to happen. The world is tired. We want to make some money. We want to make some love. We want to enjoy life. New Zealand dollar for the win. I think, Leo, this is what is going to happen. Once we have that risk off, New Zealand dollar to 74 cents. 74 cents, Leo, with a 400 pip risk.
Okay, and I have something else to add to it. I'm going to share my screen here. And while I'm doing it, someone asked if we know something about Neo and ChargePoint. I have no idea.
We can take a look. Yeah, we can take a look.
And I will show what I have in NZD on the QE. Guys, one thing that I really appreciate is using Fibonacci, but you have to know how to use. Now, I'm not saying that I know exactly how to do it, and okay, how I do it, how to do it, but I have a good idea because I'm doing this for a long time. And so you have to move your Fibonacci according to the cycles. Let me show you what I'm telling. So here, so we have the start of a new cycle. Why? Because we have this, okay? So we have this retracement, okay? And then we have the breakout. So this start point, it's no longer valid anymore. So we have to wait things to develop. So after the breakout, this one becomes the valid starting point. This one here, where we had the pullback. Okay, so if you see here, we have a retracement, but the retracement was not on the 50%. So I'm not taking. So if we come a little bit to the downside, yes, we have a perfect cycle. And if you are paying attention, you can see that this is a good way to trade, and I will explain this later. So we have the breakout here. So what we have to do is to go to the next point. So the next point is here. Okay, so here is the next. Okay, sorry, here is the next point. Okay, so here is the next point. So right now, this is weekly. So right now, what we still have, this is still on the downtrend. Okay, but this retraced much more than a normal downtrend. So from here, I will not take short trades anymore. So what I will do, so I'm going to wait a breakout of this level that is 0.65, okay? And let's say that, let me delete this. And let's say that this is the lowest of the after the breakout. So this is the lowest price after the breakout that is here. So what I do, I take the long trade after the breakout, and it's better even not on the breakout, but if you wait something like this. So when the price come back to this level, you take the trade and you put your stop loss right here. Okay. And how can you project the where the price is going? So you do something like this. So okay, so we get the lowest price on the last downside impulse. Okay, so this is the size of the impulse. So I expect the next impulse should be like this. Unfortunately, the chart doesn't go like this. Okay. So this is expected to do exactly the same move. So we are going to have something going to here, okay, and then a pullback, and after the pullback, we may see something like this, okay. And so we are talking about 2 cycles to get to where you said. So after this, we will have something like this again. But I'm not taking this trade until we have cold data back, and until we have this breakout here. And I have using this Fibonacci approach, I have some other stuff to show you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if you look on Euro USD, we are at interesting point right here. Okay, so we have yes, and if you look back, we are right here. Okay, so the price is on the same level. So
Indeed.
Going on the opposite side of what Jose said, because sometimes the trade is the problem with the trade is it's just timing. Okay, but right now it's not a bad trade if you take a short trade here. Okay, using this as your stop loss and aiming here. Okay, so it's not a bad trade. So we are talking downside. So now we are talking about 1,000 pips. That's a lot of pips. Okay. I honestly don't see this happening with this intensity, but I think we may see a little more downside before a big push until at least 1.04. Okay, so I think maybe we are going to do this. And the interesting, if you look other currencies like GBP, USD, we have a very similar scenario, very similar, and also on AUD USD, same stuff. We are on right now on strong levels, key levels, and I think when we have cold data back, things are going to be easier to trade, and even I think even will be easier to go out of these levels, because everything is compressed, because people are waiting to know what big boys are doing, and even the big boys are waiting to know what the other boys are doing. So I think right now everyone is waiting, but as I said, as Jose said, I think yes, I don't bet on a stronger dollar. but I think maybe we can see some kind of this slingshot. Okay, this movement, not because of let's say, not because of economics or stuff like that, but because it's the natural movement of markets. Okay, even if you have a strong downtrend like we have here, it does not go on straight lines. So we have these zigzags. That's it. What do you think, my friend?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at the way you were kind of explaining the projections, we're looking at a very, very extended level objective to the upside where risk is on 2024, maybe 2025, but things are better. Things definitely are not going to be bad forever. People are going to adjust. People are going to find jobs. People are getting layoff right now in the US. But I think at the end of the day, what I said, people still going to eat. We need more mining, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar. Those are the currencies that we have to pay attention to. And I think we're doing very good there.
Yes. Did you check it on the NEO and ChargePoint?
What was that? Sorry.
That NEO and ChargePoint.
Yeah, NEO and ChargePoint. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
So we can answer the questions from the audience. And I'm just going to look into the basics, right? And what happened is this, okay? When you look at NEO, any pullback from this point is going to be an opportunity. And it does look like, nah, it's not going to make it. There's some rumors that it might hit 5 again. But listen, the problem is this. This is a congestion point. There's some, back in June, there's some liquidity at 389. The problem with NEO, and I'm not saying it's going to totally collapse. The price can collapse. The value is different. But you have to understand that every time that NEO produces a car, rumor on the street is that they're losing $10,000. It's very hard for them to make a money, to make a profit on a car. But the fact is that they're protected by the PBOC, the party
Popular
in
Bank
China.
of China. Yes.
Yeah, so it's just the way it is. So 564. I'm not saying this is the end. I think this is the opportunity for you to kind of tiptoe your capital, add some positions, but you want to have some dry cash ready to deploy. And 552, it will be my position. Do I think it's going to happen? I think Alibaba will determine what is going to happen with China in the next 12 months. This is a buy. I'm looking for $14 long term. I'm looking for $20. I'm looking at least to make, just to show, I'm looking to make 100%. And if I have to buy down there, I'm looking to make 2.4 times my money. All right. Now looking to ChargePoint, I think infrastructure in the US, it's key. Not looking good so far. I'm not going to lie to you, Leo. This is not looking good. Massive rejection of the 13.65. Not too far for from the 20 exponential moving average. Technically speaking, I don't want to be a buyer. If I'm a buyer, I will be a buyer around $9.62. Reality is, like, look at this. We have a massive contraction, massive rejection of this level, all the way pushing down. If I'm a buyer, again, I'm taking out my trend Fibonacci. I want to be a buyer at $9. Again, what I said on the monthly chart, it's absolutely realistic. We're looking to be a buyer at the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. You want to see this. You want to see that retracement right there. It's 61.8%, $9. 950. That's where you want to load big time for this position. I don't think it's a bad company. I just think you have to give it some room to grow. You don't have to get anxious. I think like 2024, 2025, this company is going to be a great entry, great buying opportunity. Infrastructure is needed to go against. Think about this, Leo. In America, we have 150,000 gas stations. Only so far, close to 6,000 to 7,000 charge stations. The numbers don't lie. You want to be long technology, long CHPT. Your time horizon has to be decent. It's not going to happen tomorrow morning, but by 2024, June, July, things can be really different for the stock.
Yes. Yes, that's great. I'm going to buy some too.
All right, Leo, I think we have a lot of stuff for the day today.
Yes,
I think this has been a great show, my friend.
And so I want to thank you again, Jose, and open to the audience. If anyone have some kind of question, please, this is the time to do it, because otherwise we are going to shut here. And also remember everyone that is here today, that I want to thank you all, my friends, really thank you. That every Wednesday at the same time in Brazil, it's 6 p.m. But I think let me see, UTC it's 22 p.m. 10 p.m. UTC. Okay, so no questions. So that's it, Jose. I want to thank you for your
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you for the audience. Thank you for your great questions. I want to wish you all, you guys, a great weekend. And we see you, Leo, myself, we see you back on Wednesday, same time, so YouTube likes us more.
Yes.
But we're going to be back next week. Keep in mind, New Zealand dollar, everything that we have said so far. I'm bullish Alibaba. I'm still think we might dip to 80. Who knows? But USD, it doesn't matter.
USD Mexico.
Dollar Mexican peso. I'm bullish Mexican peso for all my friends. Taco al Pastor, Morinha. That actually sounds Brazilian. Taco al Pastor, Pozole from Mexico. A lot of great things coming for the Mexicans or all Mexicans friends on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Remember, the future is bright. You have to thank that to Tesla. I don't see competition. I'm not denying that BMW could be a competition in the future. It's not a competition today. Still long Tesla. Thank you, guys. Long New Zealand dollar. Leo, long Jose.
Long Jose.
See you next Wednesday.
Bye-bye, guys.